Hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother, Love Ruthie. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Mother, 1949, Part 46. 2457 Kenilworth Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio, November 14th, 1949. Dearest Mother, Daddy, and Bud, I was glad to get your letter today, and it was a coincidence that you should send one of those pictures, Mother. Last September, John and I went to the movies with Ann and Wayne, Joan and Lenny, and they took the enclosed picture and also another one. John tore up one card and probably wishes he had this one too. We had a conversation last week that those fellows might be gyps, so I sent in the card to prove they weren't. John was obviously talking because he doesn't usually wear such an odd expression. It was so nice to hear of all your activities, and I'm very glad to get Bud's letter. Keep the paper I wrote and put it in with some of my papers. I thought Daddy might enjoy seeing my criticism criticized. It's raining and I'm going babysitting shortly for a little while. This weekend, that's about all we did. Oh, Friday night, Ginny and I ushered at the playhouse, the Traitor. John came in the middle of it after law school, and afterwards we went and had a cocktail, and then I desired a sundae, a different surprise sundae. So John got 2 sundaes at the drugstore. Green mint-flavored ice cream with chocolate chips inside, covered with marshmallow, chocolate fudge, and whipped cream. It almost made me sick. Saturday noon, John drove me to Greenman's, and we babysat while she went to a tea. Poor John. He was trying to study law cases, and whereas Dennis was good, Jimmy, a little deaf boy she is looking after, was a hellion. Thank goodness I'm not in the nursery now. He's one wild child. We were supposed to stay for supper, but John couldn't or didn't want to stay, and I was relieved to leave too. However, I earned $2 there and $2 in the evening, so $4 for the day was good. We watched the television shows too. There was a fraternity party, but we decided I needed the babysitting money more at the moment. I finally got around to painting a picture that I like, in shades of chartreuse green and dark green. I must do more. Connie took some indoor flash pictures while here and wanted to take one of John's Studebaker. She wrote that she applied for a job in Cleveland and had written about a visa. Our landlady is giving us another month to get a roommate, so I hope Connie can be here by then. We'll see. I'm no further in my decision. John is so nice, but I'm very satisfied the way things are now. Eileen Healy's husband is certainly not handsome, but probably a very nice fellow. It sounded like a nice big wedding. I hope I have a nice one if I ever get around to it. I made supper tonight, but last night Ginny cooked a roast, baked sweet potatoes, and John came over. I invited Bill too, but left it too late so he couldn't come. I saw him at noon today, and he got after me for inviting him so late, but we'll come another time. I had all my parents to school last Thursday morning for a demonstration. What a morning! They all seem very nice. I was supposed to demonstrate this Thursday too when the principals come, but I have classes at the college so can't stay. Thanks for the recipes. I love you. Write to me. Ruthie. P.S. Marion wrote that she's been blue, but is okay now. Ruth. I earned another $2 last night, too. John came over after school and then went home for supper, then came back to walk me home from babysitting. It's 1 o'clock. I felt so sorry. John only got a 78 in his last exam, the lowest mark he's ever had at law school, so decided he won't see me Tuesday and Thursday nights, and will maybe get more work done. I hope so. I said I'd go babysitting Saturday night again. I'm supposed to go every Saturday night to the Kleins, next to the co-op, but so far I've only managed to go twice. Shinto usually goes for me. They've also asked me to go to New Year's, but John said I'd be lonely. I love you, Ruthie. 2457 Kenilworth Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. November 30th, 1949. Dearest Mother, Daddy, and Bud, a terrible thing has happened. I can just write briefly, but knew you'd be wondering. One of my little boys was killed last weekend. Terry, a darling little blue-eyed blonde, one of the sweetest pupils, was hit by a truck as he ran out playing in the street. He had a broken neck and fractured skull. Since we were in Oberlin, I hadn't seen the front page of the newspaper. And when I walked into school Monday, you can imagine the shock. I went to the funeral this morning and just felt awful. I went to the cemetery too, and they asked me to go home after, but I had to go to school. Took my kiddies with Muriel's class to see Santa Claus. 2 teachers and 16 children in downtown Cleveland is some fun. There's a live tree in one store, over 400 feet tall. Santa Claus spoke to them, gave each a balloon. They went on a merry-go-round, and then we bought them candy canes. They really enjoyed it. I couldn't quite get in the mood, though. The accident put a whole gloom over what should have been a nice holiday. There were so many of John's relatives at Marion, Ohio, and they were all so nice. One uncle and aunt had flown to Europe and taken movies in all the cities, and another uncle, a photographer, had put it together with a soundtrack. It was very good. They decided to go, and 2.5 days later flew over, but came back on the Queen Mary, visited all over Europe for a month. We visited one uncle who was building a new home, 2 bathrooms, 1 pink bathtub and 1 blue bathtub. Cute. We had a lovely dinner and supper, and his grandmother and mother asked me to come down for Christmas. Thank you, Bud, for your invitation home, but with $60 in the bank. Ginny's mother and father came from Maine and stayed here. Her dad has an airplane. That, I think, would be a wonderful hobby. Saturday we went to Oberlin, and John had quite a reunion with his friends. I was so looking forward to the dance, but could only dance a couple, as I've had a terrific backache for about a week. I can't understand it, though. John took me to church at Oberlin. I stayed in the new dormitories, very lovely and modern. John has a final Friday, and I next week. We'll try to write more again. Thank you for your letters. I'm sorry this isn't much of a one, but you can understand. Oh, Mother, it just seemed so tragic, that dear little fellow. I love you, Ruthie. 2457 Kenilworth Road, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. December 10th, 1949. Dearest Mother, Daddy, and Bud, I realized that it seemed a long time between letters last time, and I'm sorry because I do like to hear from you. It's just that life sort of piled up on Ruthie, and she can't seem to get a breather. The main trouble has been my back, and I really shouldn't tell you and worry you, but it might help explain why I'm so snowed. It's been 3 weeks that I've had it, and I did go to the school doctor. He couldn't seem to tell me anything but that there seemed special tenderness of the second vertebrae, and to come back in a week. I'd been applying heat and drinking fruit juices as the nurses advised. Last weekend, John made an appointment with the osteopath, but I decided to wait. However, this morning, I thought I'd go, so John just took me over. He massaged my back and wants to take x-rays, $15, but I decided to wait and see if it's better. It doesn't seem to be better. It's too bad because it's coloring my whole life. We've been to 2 dances now, one last night that I couldn't dance, which as you know is unlike me. Then school has been rough too. I feel okay in the morning and think it's all better, but by night it's just terrific. It's right in the lower part. The osteopath says I have a curvature of the spine, which they told me at the Y, and one hip is a 1/4 inch longer. He wants to give a corrective series of treatments, but I said I'd like to wait, if possible, until finances are better. See, I dropped my hospitalization and medical plan when I left Florida, and John has been inducing me to join something, but I've been putting it off. I had an English paper due Tuesday and a horrible history exam Thursday. I studied about all night and just hope I pass. History has never been a good subject, and American political and economical history is out of my range, since I have practically no background for it, so I struggled through. Then I've had to be on the program for 2 demonstrations in the past week. Miss Bender and her children's parents and Miss Moore and the teachers in training came to observe yesterday. I was just about sick from nervousness. I hate doing that sort of work, although I'm okay once I'm on and it's over. It was the first time my kiddies had done that particular lesson in the auditorium, and Mrs. C. said they were excellent, and Mrs. Heinrichs said my parents' demonstration and the last one was very good, and also told me not to hesitate if I needed money, as she would lend me some. The kiddies did give me perfect attention, but I didn't feel like there was any spark in me. The history exams had made me so nervous. I slept for 12 hours after it. John has been very understanding and helpful. He's studying law cases now. Just took me to dinner, and I'm in the library, supposed to be studying too, until he's through. I told you that he wants me to go home with him, and it was so nice of Chris to ask me, and you too. I'd like to be home, of course, but you nor I can really afford it. But thanks, dear. I'll soon be through school, I hope. John's fraternity Christmas formal is next Friday night, and our college Christmas formal is Saturday. I hope I can dance. I'd like you to send Grandma's locket airmail so I can wear it to the dance. Do you have to declare airmail packages? I don't from here. Maybe if you put a note to explain it was Grandma's locket. Surely they shouldn't charge duty. Can you find out from the customs officials? They had open house at the co-op last Sunday and a cocktail party tonight. My, but it seems so long ago since last year. The kids have nearly all changed too, only about 4 of the last year gang. Still, it's nice to go over. They're a nice group. Did Bud say you got a new coat? Why don't you get a muskrat if you admire Mrs. George's? You'd look nice in a real dark, soft muskrat. I've enjoyed Bud's letters and will write especially to him. I will find out the fare to Hamilton, Ontario, and try to go Christmas week if it's not too much. But I may not, as I have exams right after Christmas and 2 papers to do, but if it's like last year, I will get really Canada sick and homesick. I want to go. I need new flannelette pajamas or nightgown, pretty but warm, but don't pay too much for it, although I think Canadian material is better. Ginny had a pretty one with long sleeves and ruffled collar like yours that is nice. What would you like? Have you seen the muff and coffee table you want? Why don't you order both the muff and coffee table like you want and don't open them till Christmas morning, and Daddy, Bud, and I will pay for them. Remember last Christmas we couldn't think of what you'd like, and then were so many things we didn't know about? It would be foolish for me to try to send them from here. Connie can't get her visa crossing yet, but our landlord has given us until January 4th, so hope she makes it, for then, or we'll have to get someone else, as they've lost about 3 months now. I ushered at the play last night, and then John came over and took me to the school dance. It was Life with Mother, and very good. The same cast as Life with Father. 4 cute red-headed boys. Last Sunday night, John took me to see I was a male war bride with Cary Grant. Funny. And then took me to Little Italy for dinner. We had pizza with cheese sauce and 2 kinds of wine. Interesting. Candles on the table. I love you, Ruth. Western Reserve University, Cleveland, Ohio, December 14th, 1949. Dearest Mother, Daddy, and Bud, I just got Daddy's letter, and thank you for the Christmas dishes. I'm afraid I used them more this year than when I was first away from home in Florida, even though I was younger then. From your note, Mama, I feel very bad. I know I haven't written enough, but I've been having a very bad time. What's making it worse is when I get sick, I get so darn homesick. For age 25, I'm certainly not very brave. I went to the osteopath Saturday, $5. And by Monday I couldn't stand up straight, just bent. I went to the other doctor. I couldn't go to school. He sent me to get x-rays. I've had them. $15. And Dr. Alfred, head of the orthopedic section of the University Hospital, prescribed a corselet for a slipped disc. I had that fitted and get it tomorrow. $18.50. Darn! With a steel brace. My back's been too bad to go shopping, but I went anyway, 'cause now everything will be late sent to you, and when I get home nothing was what I wanted. I was supposed to meet John for a sandwich before his law class, and I missed him, so I couldn't borrow any money, and I didn't have any money to buy anything else. And it's Christmas soon, and I'm not any better off than last year. I know everything will be all right, but I keep crying. I don't want you to worry, 'cause my back was worse because I was getting ready to menstruate. I didn't know, though. You raised me to be a big baby. Lots of girls have families by now and real worries. 9 o'clock. I shouldn't send this top part. It is heck to be broke and things go wrong, but it will be good again. It's just not been my month. Connie will be able to come after Christmas, I think, and I'm so glad. I need people near me that love me, and I've missed Marion too, as she was very good when I was sick. John has been swell, but he has to work, but leaves his phone number in case I need morale building. We're having a sociology exam Tuesday, so I should get going. Chris wrote, I'd like to go up. John's mother had asked me, and he suggested I go home with him and then visit Chris during Christmas week. What with $38.50 for my back, I don't know if I can swing it though, and exams are right after Christmas. I'll see how Canada sick I get. It's funny. I'm so positive Bud should go to university, yet sometimes when I'm loaded with exams and papers and no money, I wonder why I should wish it on anyone else. I wish Daddy would make him see the usefulness of going now. I hate to think of the way time's going by for him that will be so precious later. I was thinking so hard one night, and John said, You're thinking of your brother, aren't you? I was. It just came over me as a positive fact that Bud should begin school seriously next fall. If he ever is, John said, he should now. Then I wish I knew whether it would be better to go to Saskatchewan University or in the United States. It's a problem, but I feel it's too vital to let slip by. Then you all must feel it too, not just I. I hope these things aren't too late. I love you, Ruth. December 18th, 1949. Dearest Mother, Daddy, and Bud, I just wanted to be sure to write to you so that you won't be worrying about my back. Thank you for the money, but darling, you really shouldn't though. John loaned me $30, and Mrs. Heinrichs offered to write me a check for $25 or $50, but I'm going to try to get by. It's been a worry, my back, but I think it'll be okay. I got the x-rays and the lumbosacral corselet with the steel brace, which seems to help. A slipped disc is what I have. It's a heck of a thing to wear. I can't move much. John calls it my armor. I'm to wear it 3, then 4, and today 5 hours a day until I'm used to it, and they say it should be okay in a month. The operation is a last resort. I think it'll be okay as it isn't as bad. I also have to sleep on a board. It's the size of my bed. Maybe Bud has something in sleeping on the floor. John's fraternity formal was Friday, and I think he was worried, at least wondering, what the corselet would look like under an evening dress. I didn't wear it, though. I cut Marion's bridesmaid's dress down even further. I made it strapless. In fact, it was so low I almost cried when John came because I didn't think I could wear it, but he said it looked nice. I wore a black velvet ribbon with a cameo pendant and camel earrings, and he put a gardenia from the corsage in my hair. I wore the corsage Saturday to my party. It was a beautiful formal dance at the Tudor Arms Hotel. We were with Kent and Mickey from Oberlin, and it was nice. I could only dance about 3, though. John brought me a big tree, and we decorated it yesterday with lights and balls, and it's pretty. I cooked my first ham yesterday with baked pineapple slices on top. John said it was almost like having a baby. We had to show it to all the kids as they came to the party. We had about 30 kids to the party, so it was really lively up here. They brought their own liquor, and we had Cokes and ginger ale and Ritz crackers and potato chips and popcorn. About 11 o'clock, we sliced my ham and had ham sandwiches. After we went and had our dance at the co-op party and went to Wald's apartment for turkey sandwiches. It was so nice to have the kids over. They like my picture. John came at noon and helped me wash glasses. Connie begins work here on the 3rd. Isn't that good? I'm going home with John. I decided. Did I tell you Frank asked me to go to New York if I could? Connie took these pictures. John doesn't look that bad, though. It was Sunday morning after church. Right. Nice about Alice. Is Harold Anderson's address in the phone book? What is it? Love, Ruthie. Now we have 3 comments from the original publication. The first is from Rosa Chokolova in Tomsk, Siberia, Russia. My dearest boy, hello. Yes, I received your sendings. Lots of thanks. I really feel a part of your family when I am sent these treasures, when I am getting to learn more and more about the members of your family. I appreciate it very much, my boy. I have received several memory collections. I'll take them with me to Uzbekistan and read them. I still dream about my own collections. You are the best example ever before my eyes. Thank you for everything, my boy. You are my everlasting sunbeam. I love you now and forever. Take good care of yourself. God bless you. Yours truly, Rosa Chokolova, Tomsk, Siberia, Russia. The next comment is from Tessa Delina, the former secretary at Restless Educational Center in San Juan, Metro Manila, Philippines. Dear Sir, my warmest greetings to you and your family. Allow me to greet your mother, Ruth, and your wife, Alice, Happy Mother's Day. As I read this particular issue, number 28, a lot of things rushed or entered my mind. I remember reading an article entitled Gifts, wherein the main idea was summarized in one sentence. Live for this day. Make it the best day of your life, for tomorrow might never come. I tried to associate it with Ruth's lifestyle in her early years. No matter how hectic her schedule was, she was able to balance it because she had priorities and was quite organized. She really pursued every goal she had. She did her very best, doing well in her studies, enjoying her work, enjoyed her social life, her relationships, and I guess she did her best every minute of her life. Another insight which I learned is that life is what you make out of it. Ruth's love for work, love for the simple pleasures in life, love for the arts and nature, all these made her happy. But life is not all made of roses. Like Ruth had been experiencing back pain, physical pain, or sometimes her relationship with her brother, Bud, or her dad. It was also quite evident in this particular issue that she really wanted to settle down and have children. But matured as she is, she had to do first the things in her priority list. Congratulations again for a job well done. Keep the issues coming. Sincerely yours, Tessa Dolina. And finally, we have a comment from John S. Ray, the husband of Ruthie Smallshaw Ray. Dear Editor, DMLR number 28 read and very much enjoyed. What a busy bee your mother was and is. I wholeheartedly agree with all the positive things you said about her. There were many very interesting items such as page 246. John likes Ruth's red hair, her crowning glory. Page 248. There is a high correlation between the people with high IQs and those who live in a high socioeconomic level, which is only logical. I really have enjoyed myself as so much the last while, sort of self-realization, you might call it. In order to have a baby, it's wise to have a husband. Before I acquire a husband, I'm going to want to have my degree. John's dad is so nice. A lot like John. His eyes are more twinkling. John S. Ray, Cleveland, Ohio. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history if this interests you. Finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, and photographs, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. You might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History, with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care. And I'll see you next time.